We made a little sidetrack to Foodland. Liz is here. And I didn't realize, but they carried the panache Italian sodas, which, like, I only get these when I'm down south because that's the only place I can find them. Like, I'm so excited for getting some. I'm so burned out this week that it's crazy. Like, Monday I woke up like, I should probably record something. What did I do instead? I sat in the corner in Liz's office drawing White Lily Cookie because I've been playing Cookie Run all weekend. Specifically Cookie Run Kingdom, trying to just like grind out stories, the current events, like all that, because every like few months I'll pick up the game again if there's like an update that interests me. And like, I liked Black Forest Cookie, I liked Wedding Cake Cookie, and I was like, okay, like I'll play the event, I'll get the two of them. And now I'm just yeah, I grinded for the April Fool's events, the Shroomies. Got those. Every single one of my cookie now has the Shroomy transformation. I don't think I have too many cookies left to get. I think I'm like at 120 out of 140 or like something around that number. I only really like, yeah, play though like if there's like events that interest me. So like a lot of the cookies I'm missing. The Odyssey is a nice feature because I can just go back and like get the tokens in the event stories and then purchase the tokens from the shop, or the soul stones from the shop with the tokens, without having to like dump a shit ton of money into it. Like, obviously not great, it's still a gacha, but like the option there to like be able to get the cookies without needing to do the gacha, that's nice. I think I got completely siderolled. So what we're gonna work on today is we're gonna do the UI menus. I'm gonna sit down and like just figure out like inspirations. The plan was I wanted to scrapbook it, but since we're going to the cafe, I think I'm just gonna throw together like a Google Doc or like a Google slide, something where I could just paste in the images from like various games and stuff and like come up with an idea of what the aesthetic is going to be. And then I'm gonna sit down and rather than being lazy, I'm just sizing everything up and only doing like it this big. I'm gonna make it fit properly to the size of the screen. And I'm going to kind of work with it from there. I think I'm also going to try and work on the item and plant sprites today because like while I have a design of them, I don't like them. And I'm probably going to play around until I do find something I like. It's just, yeah, figuring out the scaling and size for those bad boys. It's like, okay, we'll do our UI first. We'll figure out what our square size is going to be, and then I'll slide it with the items. So it's an art day just because like that's the only thing that I really seem to have motivation to do. Yeah, not how I was expecting this week to go for like a bum out week. I was expecting that to be like my week next week. God, I didn't even explain my Tuesday. My Tuesday I basically just laid upside down on the couch all day. Like I need to go do work and then just didn't do work. But yeah, bum out week this week. So it's like next week I'm hoping that like I'm in a better place energy-wise. Just cause yeah, I think if I get some assets in place and I figure out my layouts, I'm hoping my brain will be in a better place for working on the actual code. Because I'm not gonna be here like, oh, this looks gross, I'm gonna have to fix this later. Instead, I'm just gonna be like, okay, boom, 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 done, move on. I'm so excited for doing the scrapbooks though, because I finally have a reason to use my don't forget notepad. It's from Hi-Fi Rico. They're at the farmer's market here in Sudbury. The first page is like absolutely drenched. That's so unfortunate. I don't know if I've shown off like my tote bag, but it's like it's just a phase and it's the phases of the moon. And I think I have other stuff that they've done. Yeah. I have this gem of a sticker that I still have nothing to put it on. It just exists and is shiny and it tickles my brain. And then, I don't even know if it's in shot, but occasionally you may see like the sun catcher that's on the glass door there. They also made that. I haven't gone to the market in a bit, but usually I stop by their booth when I do. But yeah, like they'll be fun for like little notes and stuff and to add some visual interest to the scrapbooking aspect. I've done some work on my own. I sat down to get some work done. I wasn't really feeling it, like my energy was pretty low, so I've just been jamming out to the same song on loop and just bouncing like an absolute fucking mad lad because, you know, yoga ball, it's bouncy. Anyways, so this is the old inventory. I'm sure most of you know if you've been following along with these. It's ugly and a piece of work. So, where are we at currently? Boom. The difference when I just take time to sit down instead of just like throw shit on paper, the difference is insane. I think this is the style we're gonna go for the vegetables too. I think I said at some point today that I wanted to make bird clothes. I don't remember, but I didn't love these. Yeah, they're detailed, but like it doesn't fit with the style, but like these are cute and fat and I love them. And for now, they will suffice as the vegetables and stuff. I have no idea how the fuck I'm gonna draw the suit. That's an issue we will deal with when it comes up. This was the inventory, and I think I'm gonna finish off the rest of the panels because right now there's only the inventory. I'm not too worried about the collections or the settings just yet, but I do want to at least include the relationships and the quests, at least for like a blank page that I can then fill in later. But in terms of like actual inventory, like, but it's there. Actually, why don't I summarize? I wasn't talking at the cafe when I was doing the work, so obviously you have Alice's display. I have it so each of the character is based on one of the major arcana from the tarot decks. I like the whole philosophy behind like Jungian psychology and like the Fool's Journey and stuff, where we can kind of like take those archetypes and apply them to ourselves and the people around us. And so everyone in Rose's Garden will kind of fall into an archetype. I don't want to like rely too much. Train of thought, whoosh! I don't want to rely too much on like stereotypes where it's just like, oh, like this person's just bleh and bleh and bleh, but it's gonna give me a rough idea of like where I want to be taking their stories as a character basis. Skills are right down here. We have cooking, foraging, gardening, and fishing. I was reading my chart. I couldn't remember earlier if these were the 4 that I wanted, but they are. So those are there. They have the little icons next to them, and there's 10 levels. I might move the bars over a little bit or space them out more so it's a bit more centered, because while it's centered to the edges of the page with the icons, it feels a little lopsided. Alice possibly will have different outfits, which is why she's displayed in the inventory. Should address that when I start with her. Oh, okay, definitely taking a nap after this, but Alice is there, she's chilling. You'll be able to interact with her hopefully at one point to kind of switch out her outfits, whether it's for events or like different seasons and stuff. I just think it'd be fun to add in the different outfits for her and kind of really get to explore her style. Obviously the inventory slots are inventory slots. Right now there's 20, which I think is where I'm gonna cap it. Yeah, you have your inventory, your heart levels with people, your quest menu, your collections, and your settings, and then a close button up there for the people that don't want to press escape. Because I am one of those people sometimes. But yeah, that's our layout. That's what we're working with. For the relationships, it'll probably be about the same, where you'll have the card to display them as well as like their listing. And on their listing, I'll probably have like the heart level for them. A la Stardew Valley, a la Fields of Mystery, a like simple farming game. Relationships menu, yeah. Quest menu, it'll have the bars again, and then on the side it'll just explain the quest, who the requester is, and then have the rewards down here. Collections, I have no idea how that's gonna work. What we'll probably do is have like categories here, because the items are usually on this side, and then we'll have each of the items displayed and the option to toggle between pages or scroll up and down, just to kind of show like what you've found. And I'd like to have it where it tracks how many you've found or like have sold, like Stardew Valley does. And then settings, I forgot I was in Google Slides. Settings probably will just be like one side set to show you like toggle this, toggle that, toggle this, or it'll have like little buttons here to give you like different options like video, audio, other things that are in settings that I just cannot remember right now. Audio, video, performance. I don't know what performance settings I need, but that's a settings type in games. And then like an exit button, so then you can tap on like video and whatnot. Pulls up your settings there. Depends how many submenus I want. I'm not a huge fan of like having like a gazillion submenus, but depending on how many settings I have, I'd rather people have to go through the submenus for like having only like 3 or 4 options rather than scrolling through like 30 to get to the one they need. So we'll see. It's adjustable. It's not set in stone. Like, this is the first draft of many. It's not really a first draft, but like this is our current markup. Part of me honestly just wants to sit here and do like all of the tarot card designs. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it where it's just like it displays their sprite, or if I want to do like actual like proper character art for like a unique card for each of them. I think that's gonna be like a later thing if I do. Right now though, I'm going to have to draw Alice in on top in Game Maker with code. I think that the close button, this little arrow, the items, Alice, and the skills should be all that I have to draw in with code. That is my hope. But all of them should be relatively easy to get done. So yeah, we'll shape it out. Where's your Sky? I don't know, where is Sky?
It's on the table.
It's on the table?
Ooh.
Ah, the living room table.
Let's look.
Yeah, I see. Is Sky on camera?
Sky, take picture.
Sky's in the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. Side note, I didn't realize how wide like the mouths, rims, whatever they're called on cups, are on these particular cups. So like anytime I go to sip, it's like carefully. Happy Thursday, we're down in the basement. I'm gonna do some more artwork today. I think my goal for the day is to get the side tabs for sorting the categories in the cookbook done, as well as just drawing the item sprites. I think I'm gonna go through and do all of the spring items. Before I was only really testing for like one batch of soup ingredients, but I think I wanna go through with all of them. I'm trying to decide like, actually hold on here, what I want the categories for the cookbook to be, because it's like I could sort it by seasons. I don't think I'm going to, just because I have like the little colored frame that shows what season it is. It'll be pink for spring, probably yellow for summer, orange for fall, or burgundy for fall, and then blue for winter. So that's like not something I'm super stressed over. Instead, I'm thinking maybe I'll have like a category that's dedicated to like other things. So like any oils or stocks that you have to make will have its own category, so they're easier to find. And then I'll probably have like a category just dedicated to the starches. So all of your like pastas and breads and stuff will fall under that category. Is it leaving it like vague and like kind of open? Yes, I don't know how many recipes are gonna be in there though, so like we could always change it later if need be, if there's too many. But what I could also do is I could have pages and then have the pages, each one's dedicated to a season, which would give me like, right now there's 20 slots for recipes, but I could have like 20 slots open just for like based on seasonal, and then have the icon displayed at the bottom. We might do that. So I made myself like a little list to like just keep open on my desktop to like keep me on track for where we're supposed to be. I can put this away. All we have left to do now is the planters and the plant growth sprays. I think I'm gonna save that for tomorrow, just because I am feeling a little bit tired and I'm thinking I'm just gonna take a bit of a break. I've been at this a decent amount of time today. I didn't quite hit 5 hours like I kind of set out for myself, but I've hit 4. So I'm thinking like we'll call it here today. We'll pick up again tomorrow because the planters will also probably take about 3 hours, and I'm just gonna combine my time from tomorrow and then today and be like, well, I did more than I was planning on. I think that's just the basic summary for this week. But yeah, I'm planning to do a second pass for the vegetables and stuff at some point. I only really started liking them towards the end here, like when I got to like the thyme and the olives and the morels and the ginger, and like I think they feel too big. Like with the soups, I ended up caving and doing like a little small soup designs, and I think I'm gonna go back now and just change other things to be smaller. I'm thinking like the bottles of oils and broth will be changed to smaller, and then yeah, all the vegetables and stuff, which sucks because I really like these 4 at the end here, but I think smaller is just gonna work better moving forward. So there's that. I might keep those ones. Who knows? I want to rework these ones at the very least. In terms of the cookbook, I kind of fleshed out the stars as well as just shifted this so it only displays 16 recipes, but you'll have access to the arrows at the bottom. I think I'm gonna X-nay. Is X-nay a word? I'm gonna not do the colored frames for the seasons. I'm thinking I'm just gonna stick with the basic wooden just to keep it consistent. And then yeah, have it sorted here by like seasons and like if you're given it by a character and that stuff. But I also have like this little, since I have this empty block here, I'm thinking maybe I'll just have it like display an icon as well as like the words for the season. So it might be like a flower and then say spring, or it might be a heart and then say Duncan because you got it from Duncan. Just different ideas we can play around with. But yeah, and then I have the little icons on the side. I ended up going with a mushroom. I started coloring it and then I just stopped and I was like, red with white bottom is an Amanita muscaria, and those are poisonous and should not be consumed. And so I was like, I need to like make this not look like a poisonous mushroom because I don't want to be encouraging people to eat poison. You know, that's a fun like thing that we should all do as humans. So instead, it's like an oozy red one. I have to look into it and see if there's an actual mushroom that looks like this and just make sure it's edible. But for now, that is the icon for like the meat and not meat based items. And then below that we just have bread right now for the grains, and then a bottle for the like miscellaneous stuff that you'll be crafting. I didn't draw yeast. I'm just gonna add that to my note, honestly. I made a mental note to do that, but never thought of it because at least for the apple cider vinegar as well as the bread, you'll be needing yeast. I'll probably make 2 types because I know like people tend to use like beer yeast for apple cider vinegar, whereas bread's like obviously bread yeast. So I'll add in the different types of yeast and stuff later. Cheese was a hard one to figure out just because like I didn't want to just do like processed cheese slices, and so it's like it's a wheel of cheddar cheese. It's coated in wax. I don't know how practical that's gonna make it for grilled cheese and stuff because that's the reason why we have cheese in, but I want to have like a distinct look between the different types of cheeses rather than just doing one cheese block. Since we have that focus on cooking, like I don't have any soups yet that use cheese, but I know that certain soups use different kinds of cheeses and they'll call for different types. And honestly, at the rate we're going, since we're gonna have pastas, we may as well start making pasta dishes too. And those will also like require certain types of cheeses to make. It's not just gonna be like one generic type. So that's a down the road problem, but for now we have a cheddar wheel. And I think it looks really cute. It's missing a slice, and the canon reason for that is Alice snacks on a block of cheese whenever she gets it. Yeah. Or whenever she makes it, she will snack at her earliest convenience, and that is why there is a slice missing. That's our workflow for today. All the stuff we got done. Yeah, so we're just trekking along. The seeds right now have different colored bags as well as different color ribbons on them. Forgot I had Palma Farm open. The colored based on the seasons. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that, but we're gonna roll with it for now just because it gives some variety to the seeds, and my goal is to like make it easier to find at a quick glance. The soups look smaller now, but they're more in tune with like the grilled cheese, which looks absolutely adorable and I love, but I don't know how I feel about like some of the soups. Like the carrot soup and potato soup I think are adorable. Same goes for the lemon soup at the end here. But then like these three, the vegetable and moral soups aren't bad, but the pea soup kind of just looks like baby vomit. Like I know it's split pea soup and it looks kind of funky in color because like it's dried peas, and like I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth because I haven't actually looked into the recipe, but I'm gonna guess olive oil to help with that like dark greeny color I was seeing. And like actual split pea soup looks like baby vomit. You can look it up. I'm not crazy. Like this was like something I was looking at and I'm like, how am I gonna make this appealing? I have them, they're functional, they're gonna go in the game. And once we have the last of the sprites we need, so I have like 4 things on my list for tomorrow. Once we get those in place, we'll be set for next week to come in, do some coding, get everything rigged up. It's gonna hurt because I'm gonna have to like undo a bunch of the code stuff that I have, but at this point most of it I wasn't using anyways, or it was broken, and it's just gonna be a lot neater with doing this because I'm not drawing like different things in like different ways. Everything's going to be to size that I need. It's just in my head it's gonna be smoother, and it's cleared up my head a lot as well to just like being okay with things and being like, okay, like the game looks decent, like we're just gonna push forward on this, and she's a glow up and I can appreciate that fact, and just yeah. I need to invest in getting like a pillow or something to just kind of chill with me down here when I do floor segments. But hello, happy Friday, we're in the office. Original plan for today was I was going to do the planters and the plant sprites for Rose's garden. That didn't end up happening. I sat down at my desk and like we went out to do some running around this morning, and like all of my energy got taken up by that. So like I'm just focusing on like housework today and kind of trying to get through my daily tasks. But yeah, so none of that. And then I sat down to draw different outfit ideas for Alice, just to play around with something as like a fun little end out to this week. But like that went kaput. I just didn't like anything that I was putting out, so I'm thinking like maybe sitting down to sketch first is gonna be my best friend rather than sketching straight in the pixel art. So I'm gonna have to revisit that at a later point. It's not a necessary thing, like I don't need this tomorrow to get things done, but it was gonna be like a little fun break and a fun end segment. But yeah, like the creativity is mush, so I'm just saying like we're not gonna touch stuff until next week. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I have obviously the plants to get done, but then I want to focus on doing the code. Like I mentioned, I think getting the inventory set up is going to be like my first priority, just for screenshots, because I've played around a little bit with what it looks like in Engine. I just want to have all of the text-based stuff put in place, so that's gonna be fun, and I'm looking forward to that, even if my energy is like just bleh right now. Yeah, like it's a long week without really being a long week, you know? And like I feel like I haven't done that much just because like realistically I worked like a day on Rose's garden this week. I can't even remember what I did this week, but I feel like I haven't put too much into it. And like, I know I have like a lot of the assets and stuff I needed done, and like I got most of my goals for this week complete. It's just still kind of feeling like I'm getting nowhere with it. So I'm just gonna leave it as is for this week and not try to push it just in case it backfires on me. It's just finding that ebb and flow, finding that pacing, and trying to get myself out of ruts like this when they start. If I find that I'm just not able to get anywhere with art at the start of next week, then we're just going to focus on coding and push through on that, because that's less creative. I can like do standard coding to like get to where I need to be. I don't need to be coming up with stuff on the fly because I know what I'm doing. I'm just reworking what was already existing. Already, like the whole like drawing the inventory, it's gone from being like 50 lines or something, probably gonna end up being around like 10 when I'm done with it, because I'm not drawing each individual element now. I'm just drawing it as is. And just like my math is gonna be a lot smoother too, because I have the exact pixel ratios, because I can just open up the actual image and then size it up as I need for the scale, which I think is like ×6, something like that. So it'll be like an easy enough to get through process, and it's just gonna be really satisfying to see that code pared down so much. But yeah, like I don't want to say like ending Friday on a low note, but like I feel like I'm ending it on a low note, but like it's been a good development week, and I feel like I need to remind myself that. I posted on Twitter for like the first time in forever with something that wasn't about a video going up, so I'm proud of myself for that. I've gotta like get more into the groove with like taking photos with my frogs to post on Instagram. I'm thinking I might bail on Instagram in favor of doing like a TikTok or something, because I feel like that would fit the frogs better in that format, because I like doing stories more than I do like the actual post on Instagram. So I think that's fair to say that applies to TikTok, or I could start doing YouTube shorts with the frogs. That's also very much an option that I could consider. So I'm gonna take that back to the drawing board. But right now, like I think for social media stuff, my goal for next week is to get more into the habit of taking screenshots of things and doing like comparisons of like the old art to the new art, and just kind of pushing forward on that. And then once we get like the cooking in place, I can then do like little recorded clips and stuff to post. So like the ideas are there, I just need to remember to be doing things to show it. Yeah. If you made it to the end of the video, comment your favorite type of soup down below. Oh, Rosalind's home. I'm curious, and also like I think it'd be fun to get some ideas for soups to implement. I have a rough idea of like 6 soups per season, but like I always love to hear what other people like in soup. Maybe even like if you don't like soup, like your favorite sandwich or like type of pasta. Let's just get some food going down in the comments. I think it'd be fun. So yeah, all of you take care, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.